Hi Aries, welcome to your end of October 2018 love reading. It's Rena here. Let's see if that's yeah. So I wanted to get this out earlier because this literally is really close to the end, but been recovering from the flu. So that's been kind of an interesting experience. As anyone, actually it's like a cold. I never know the difference, but boy, very interesting. I'm using the, what do you call these, Wild Unknown Tarot. Wait a minute. What is the name? I'm trying to figure out like what spread I'm going to be doing, because I did create a new spread, but you know, I'm going to have to probably do my old type because I can't remember the new spread. They're still a little bit spaced. Interesting. See, now this is an example. Now let me see. Is this the, yeah, 10 of Wands and Reverse. Okay. So I don't think I have any major arcana cards here, which is kind of interesting. The heart of the matter is the 6 of Pentacles. And this is a card of, I mean, this can be different things, and this particular illustration isn't going to even hint at what this is about. But this is about fairness sometimes, like balance in giving and receiving. Sometimes it can simply be, you know, like in an overall sense, if I was doing a general reading, about helping another person financially or accepting help from another person because you need it. But in a love reading, I always look at it as either you're in a position where somebody holds the purse strings and you feel that sense of like imbalance. Maybe they're trying to make you feel like, oh, you should be grateful. Look, I'm taking care, or I'm paying the way here so that you can sit home and eat bonbons looking after our child. Or you feel resentful because you're paying all the bills, and somebody else, you feel like somebody else is not pulling their weight. Or it can be just, to me, energetically, like, are you the one that is always giving others and not getting in return? And not in that kind of like annoying thing where people are like, well, I bought this, so you should buy me this. I'm not talking about that. I'm just talking about like more energetically than actual dollars and cents. Although in some cases with Aries, it can be about being taken advantage of financially. Very easily it could be that. Now, what is, you know, this is the card that crosses you. Maybe this is something you're in denial about, and it's keeping you from solving this problem. If this is a pattern for you, the 7 of Swords. So this is an example of a great illustration, because you see how sketchy this box is. And, you know, foxy. That's a card of deception. And so maybe you're like a dupe. I hate to put it so bluntly, but maybe you are not seeing something that's staring you right in the face, because you just, like, I don't know, you get caught up in other things and you don't realize that somebody is really playing you, and that you need to really absorb that reality. If you're single, this is not just for people who are involved with somebody. This could be a pattern of yours. And you might be single right now, but this is asking you to look at that particular pattern. Do you try to buy people's, love? And how's that working out for you? And this could be like the heart of the matter. The Daughter of Cups, the Page of Cups. Yeah, this is another card. Being a patsy, but being the Daughter of Cups is the Page of Cups, which is associated with Pisces. Do you have Venus in Pisces? Aries people can have Venus in Pisces. Or Venus square Neptune, and be like suckers. I hate to say it that way. Be naive in love. And guess what I think the number one reason that Aries people find themselves in that position? Lust. The sexual relationship clouding your judgment. I'm just going to leave that there because I don't have anything better to say. Although if you have Venus in Pisces, you could be like so compassionate and you want to save the world. And you don't realize that everyone has to save themselves. There's no shortcuts. You can't love somebody enough to get rid of their self-hatred. There are some people who are very self-destructive because that's their choice at the end of the day. It doesn't mean that we can't love them. We don't have to be in a relationship with them. That's the truth. The higher message is the Nine of Wands. So this is about self-protective measures, including boundaries. This is actually a card of boundaries. So having, knowing before you go into a relationship what you're going to tolerate, what you're not going to tolerate. Boy, does that seem bizarre saying that to an Aries person, because Aries people seem like they are like totally people who call the shots and they got all the answers and stuff like that. But they have, they can have their little vulnerability, their area of vulnerability. So knowing that about yourself and being willing to kind of realize that you have to have some ground rules. And it's not necessarily that you lecture somebody and tell them, but within yourself. And if somebody crosses that, it's like an immediate red flag. Okay, if somebody is disrespectful, that they're calling you names, I mean, that's a huge red flag. If they are evasive, if they're lying, you can figure this out for yourself, and then cut that person loose, and don't even get into like a debate about it, because if they are like a narcissist, they'll try to gaslight you, tell you you're crazy, and then you might believe them again, and you might be like this Page of Cups, and you might spend another 3 years trying to convince them that you weren't trying to insult them, and that you really do believe them, that they really have your best interests at heart. And so the advice is the Daughter of Swords. Page of Swords. This is, these cards are very consistent. Vigilance. This means, and this was a good one too, having the owl, because the owl is like, they are aware, they're like looking straight at their prey. But in this case, it's not prey, it's not about prey too, it's about predators. The owl is always saying, okay, and they can swivel their head and look behind them and make sure nobody's trying to attack them. And you have to be on guard. And I don't like to say that because as a Sagittarian, as a fellow fire sign, I think we should just be an open book and just everybody, puppy dog and all that stuff. But you have to be able to have boundaries, like the Nine of Wands, to protect yourself against predators. Unfortunately, we think that everyone is like us and that they are above board. And they're not. And there are some people that are really, that they look for people that they can take for a ride. And it just is shocking, because it's like, why would you do that? Why would you conduct yourself in that way? Some people don't know how else to behave. They don't really have that sense of power within themselves. And that's sad, because it means that they are not really, they're dependent on this kind of sketchy behavior in order to get what they want. How is that going to make somebody happy? No, it's not going to. What's coming in? Mother of Pentacles, Queen of Pentacles. This is a card of, there's a certain sense of, with the Queen of Pentacles, this is a card again of a sense of like having your own luxury in life. Now, how does that relate to your love life? Well, most of the people watching this will be women, and this is not to, you know, marginalize the men they're watching, but for the women, this is a very feminine energy, and this is about, and also it's, you know, it's funny that this particular card shows the fawn with the mother, and so it might just be like that you are focusing on your home life, your domestic front, your domestic scene. And if, for instance, let's say you are, it could be a man, because you would still be nurturing if you're a single parent of either gender, that it's like, hey, I already have a lot on my plate. I already have people that not only depend on me, but love me. Maybe it's a different type of love, but maybe in a weird way, it's a better type of love sometimes, because there's a purity to it. And so I have enough on my plate right now. I don't have to be like looking in a way, you could call it looking for trouble. Especially if you've had a lot of drama in the recent past. It might be time to focus on your family. And focus on your home. Focus on, you know, the good things in life that you do have. But also, this could be a relationship with an earth sign. And it's very interesting, because normally I would say don't get with an earth sign, Aries. You're going to, you know, it'll be one of those situations where you have an amazing physical chemistry, but you'll be bored stiff, you know. And yet, I mean, even the Six of Pentacles, it could be like maybe you have an attraction to an air sign, to an earth sign. And Capricorn is the sign that you tend to gravitate towards, because you're both cardinal signs, and you see that sense in the Capricorn person, that they are go-getters, and that's something that you admire in other people. The other earth signs are Taurus and Virgo. Even though Virgo forms a rather awkward angle to you, I could kind of see you with Virgo more than Taurus. Because Virgo has that mental part of them that you might have something in common with. And but in any case, it might be that you are forming this alliance with this person. Possibly it is a romantic nature. And there's a sense of calm. Maybe you were with somebody who was an air sign, and they were bringing drama to your life. Air, it's funny that the swords connect to air, and they also are considered drama in the tarot. So, for what that's worth. The outcome was the Ten of Wands, but in the reversed position. And this is like a burden being lifted from your life. So that's pretty interesting. Like in a general forecast, the Ten of Wands in the upright position is about somebody who's working too hard, and they have all these obligations. Maybe they're taking care of, maybe they're working overtime, doing the jobs of two people, things like that. But when I see the Ten of Wands in a personal relationship, I think of somebody who's trying too hard. Maybe who's trying to keep this relationship going only on their end, but it's not working out because it's like it takes two, right? So with the Ten of Wands in reverse, you may be in a relationship where it's very like give and take, and there's that sense of like, yeah, this is what give and take is, you know, but there's a sense of like they're as interested as you are, so there's not like you kind of like doing the heavy lifting in the relationship. And you know how it is when you're talking to somebody and it's like they're not being forthcoming and you're doing most of the talking, and you realize this person doesn't really want to have this conversation because it's so laborious to get them to say anything. Well, that's kind of how it can be sometimes in relationships where it's one-sided, you know? And this is like ending for you for some reason. Maybe it's because you're letting go, you're surrendering to your current situation, or maybe you've met somebody that really seems to like you as much as you like them. So either way, that seems like a good thing. And yeah, that's what I have for you, Aries. So I have never done a second love reading in a month. This was kind of just an experiment to see how it would be received. And if you'd like a personal love reading or any other type of reading that I offer, I will provide the link below. I hope you have a great rest of October. Bye.